There's some other things we've got to do today. And I know I've said it about 3 times now, but it's the first time I've taught it. I've never used the syllabus. Now, this is the thing they said we had to have on the syllabus, this new setup at the top. So aren't you proud of it? Okay. They sent it to us, and it was in 3 pieces, and I had to piece them together to get them to work, and it took way longer than it should have. But here's the syllabus, MTH098. The course title is Introductory Algebra, MTH098. Okay? 3 credit hour course, and for some reason the contact hours, usually they say per week. This has it for the whole term, I guess. So 45 hours. You count them off, and when we finish that, tell us. Prerequisite, either MTH090, or if you've been to a school that offers 091, or your appropriate placement score. You may have scored into 098 directly, fantastic, or you should have had one of those courses. Now, why they put some things in red and some things not, I don't know, but the textbook and materials look sort of like this, okay? Kind of big and heavy. Pre-algebra and introductory algebra, 4th edition. And did y'all buy it in the bookstore, most of you? Or have any of you got it some other way?
Online.
Online?
Yes.
Okay. And you got my math lab as well. Okay. Okay. You've heard me say it before, I'll say it again. Since I haven't taught this course in several years, I've never used my math lab. Now, those of you who were in 090, did y'all love it? Huh? You did. Okay, what I'm going to try to do is set it up so you can use it. Because when I've never used it, so I don't know, but I've been exposed to it, and it seems like it does have tutorials and things like that, right? So I'm going to try to set it up so it's available to you, and you can use it any way you want to, as a tutorial aid and that kind of stuff. But I will make homework assignments out of here, which you have online with that, and you'll do that, and we will have quizzes, tests, or various other things, and that's what I'll grade you on rather than my math lab. Okay? Are y'all okay with that? Your syllabus doesn't say that because I just got the syllabus today. But you're okay with that, or is anyone really opposed to that? You can be, that's fine. Okay.
I'd rather use my math lab, but that's me personally.
So
okay.
Does my math lab have an ebook? Because I'm just not sure. We never did use it. We just used it in my math lab. So
yeah, I just did homework assignments through there, and then I did the test, and then I told her when I was ready for my test.
Okay, they didn't teach from the book at all?
No.
If you stayed in the classroom and you wanted to go with the classroom speed, I would pass the classroom speed. That's why I used my math lab.
Okay.
I said I would pass the speed of the class because the class was going slow. I think she was using the board and stuff. She wasn't even using the book herself.
Okay, who's she?
Ms. Martin.
Okay.
But I'm saying I'd rather use my math lab myself because I feel it better than the book itself.
Okay. Well, I'll set it up for you, and you can use it any way you do, but we are going to have class. That's what they pay me for, you know, and I want to be able to answer your questions and that type of thing, too. And they put down that it's the book, and it's in the bookstore and stuff, but I think if you do my math lab, you're supposed to get an e-book with it, aren't you?
E-book because we paid about $200.
Exactly.
So I don't see going and purchasing the book.
No. If you paid that much money, it better have an e-book with it. Say again, I can't hear.
It's supposed to be accessible to 090 and 098.
Exactly.
So.
Okay. So, but you never used it in 090?
No.
Okay. We will be using it here. Did some of you have someone else for 090? Or all of you had Ms. Martin, if you had anybody? Okay. And you never used the book, huh?
No, I used it at home a little bit.
Okay.
That's me personally.
Okay. Well, I'll set it up so you can use it to your heart's content. But when I've used, like I said, I haven't used my math lab, but I've tried using some of the others. And some of them, there may be 2 ways to write an answer. If you don't write it their way, it tells you it's wrong, even though it's absolutely correct. Did y'all ever run into that?
Yes.
And that's exactly one of the reasons I don't like using them, because when I grade your stuff, or I look at it, oh yeah, that's the correct way to say this, or that's the correct way. I don't say, no, you have to do it my way or the highway, you know. I don't believe in that. So anyway, here's the text that you're supposed to have, ebook or whatever. And it says, plus my math lab with Pearson eText package. So it's supposed to be in there, especially if you paid that much money, because that code did not cost that amount of money. So they're ripping you off if it's not there. And I'll talk with them. I mean, you let me know if you can't access it. I'm going to discuss it with them, okay? And so anyway, we'll go with that. And the student access code has a standalone ISBN of that. Textbook without the access code has a standalone book. I don't know why they put all this down here. Students will not be able to complete as a sign-on. Okay. So I'll try to get you the access codes. I don't have them today, but I'll try to do it. Now they say you also need a 3-ring binder. Okay, let me roll this up a little bit. Okay, here we go. 3-ring binder, loose leaf paper, pencils, pens required for the course. See a few people with 3-ring binders. Frankly, if you don't have a book, I don't see why you need a 3-ring binder. But you do need paper and pencils, and I don't care if you use pens or not, but I'll make a confession right here. When I do math, I tend to make errors, so I like to use pencil personally. But if you're okay with pen, that's perfectly fine. Okay. Where it's here. Scientific calculator obviously is usable, okay? So that's fine. Now, I believe they say somewhere else cell phones are not, okay? I think, okay? We'll go and read. Like I say, this is the first time I've used the syllabus, period. This course combines the traditional class lectures, online instruction, hands-on in-class activities led by the instructor. The class meets 2 days a week, Monday and Wednesday, right? Student must successfully complete all coursework outlined in the syllabus, 70% or higher in order to receive a grade for the course. And it's not grade A, that's A from this sentence, by the way. Okay. A comprehensive final exam worth between 20 and 30% of the course grade will be given. Okay, the use of electronic devices such as cell phones, MP3 players, laptops. Now, hey, if you got an ebook, you got to have a laptop, okay, right? So forget this thing about laptops. Now, maybe that means on tests and stuff, but in class, you're perfectly okay to have a laptop, okay, or tablet. But not permitted inside the classroom. Now, I know what they're talking about. The cell phones, MP3 players, no reason for those in here, or at least loud, okay, so have those on mute or whatever. Must be silenced during class. Students are asked to stop blah, 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 okay. I'm not this picky, okay. This is the syllabus, but I'm not that picky. Okay, course learner outcomes, okay. And again, I don't know why they change colors back and forth. To me, red means I'm screaming at you, okay, and I'm not screaming at you, okay. Students will demonstrate the ability to evaluate and simplify algebraic expressions using all properties of real numbers. Okay? Students will demonstrate the ability to compare, order, add, subtract, multiply, and divide rational numbers. Okay? Students will demonstrate the ability to solve equations using all properties of equations. Okay? Students will demonstrate the ability to translate word statements and write equations to solve word problems, our favorites, right? Yes, okay. Students will demonstrate the ability to identify, simplify, add, subtract, multiply, and divide polynomials. Students will demonstrate the knowledge of laws of exponents, degrees of terms, degrees of polynomials. Students will demonstrate the ability to simplify exponents with the power of 1 and 0. That's pretty easy, I think, okay? Students will demonstrate the ability to factor polynomials of the type ax squared plus or minus bx plus or minus c. Most of the time we say A, B, and C can be positive or negative, but leave off all the plus or minuses. That's okay. The difference of two squares, yes. Perfect trinomials, yes. And factor out common monomials. Students will demonstrate the ability to graph linear equations using T-charts and slope-intercept form. Students will demonstrate the ability to find the slope of the line given 2 points, a linear equation, or the graph of a line. Okay? Students will demonstrate the ability to interchange equations between standard and slope-intercept form, determine if the two lines are parallel or perpendicular. Good stuff. Okay, the textbook sections, which most of you don't have textbooks, but those who have, basically, and this is basically what to do over this long weekend you've got coming up. With your text, go back and review topics in chapter 2, 4, 5, and 7. Okay? I don't know what TBD stands for here, to be determined usually, but I don't know. I guess determine the topics. Okay? Here's what I would suggest. Now, you tell me, because most of you have had 09, right? So let's look in chapter 2, those who have this. Chapter 2 is understanding variable solving equations. Okay? To me, the ones to review here would be 2.3, 2.4, and 2.5. Okay? You should know those. Should go pretty quickly. Okay? Chapter 4. I would say 4.5 and 4.7. Okay? Chapter 5. 5.7 and 5.9. Okay? Chapter 7. 7.4. If you want to do 7.5, you can. So, if for some reason that's what they want you to review some, pay attention to it. You don't have to kill yourself with them. Look over it and make sure you understand it. If you see anything in any of those sections and say, whoa, we didn't do that, or I don't remember we did that, or we did it, but I sure don't remember how, bring that to class on Wednesday. You know we're not having... Okay, sort of a good news, bad news situation here. The good news is next Monday is Martin Luther King Day, and the college is closed. The bad news is that means we won't be meeting next Monday. Get over it. Okay, so we'll meet again Wednesday. So bring that, review this stuff over the weekend, and bring them any questions you have on Wednesday. So we're starting in this class in chapter 10. Chapter 10 is real numbers, equations, and inequalities. And we'll go from there, 10.1, 10.2, and 10.3. We will not do 10.4. Then we do chapter 11, graphs of linear equations and inequalities in two variables. And let me scroll this up some. All right. Excuse me just a minute. I need to talk with Dr. Bryant about something. And by the way, we did, stack into, so some will be coming in early, late, decide, if you want to do it 3:15 or 3:30, tell them today, and then you can use the printer. Others, some of them are already here in the morning. Right, yeah, okay. All right, there you go. See, Dr. Bryant uses my computer for his class, and I had to tell him that I'm going to be here till 3:15, and his class started at 3, but he's got the rest of the evening. So he can do it. All right, where were we? Chapter 11, was it?
Chapter 10.
Yes. I'm sorry?
Please, could you repeat chapter 10 again? Chapter 10.
Oh, chapter 10?
Yes.
It's right here. It's real.
okay.
10.1, 10.2, and 10.3. Yeah, okay. And by the way, I put this syllabus on Blackboard. I don't have anything else on Blackboard, but I have the syllabus there. So you can go through and see this. But I'll just go over it with you in case when you're reading it, you can go back and look at screencast at YouTube and find it. Did I tell you that I'm recording it using Screencast-O-Matic, but when the class is over, I'll upload it to YouTube. I'll put it in a playlist. I don't have it set up yet, but I will. And then you can link that through Blackboard. It's not there yet, but I will do it. You know, I'm recording it. It'll go there. And so every class you can go through YouTube. Okay? So chapter 11, did I go that? Yeah, did I? 11.1, 11.2, and 11.3. And then chapter 13, so we skip 12. 13 is 13.1 through 4, and then 6. Okay. Chapter 14. Factoring. Yay. Okay. 1 through 5. All right. So that's what we're going to be covering. Now, this is in 3 units. And I haven't found anywhere where they say what the units are, but my guess is 10 and 11 will be Unit 1, 13 will be Unit 2, and 14 will be Unit 3. Okay? That's how I'm going to break it down unless I find out it's different from that. Okay? Coursework, course calendar, grade and assessment, the following, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now, a few things we do here really irk me. One that really does is when we start a term on a Tuesday or a Thursday. It really gripes me because, like this week, we started on Tuesday. So Tuesday, Thursday classes will meet twice. Monday, Wednesday classes will meet once. Next week, we have a holiday on Monday. Tuesday, Thursday classes will meet twice. Monday, Wednesday classes will meet once. That means at the end of next week, we are 1 week behind. Dumb to do it that way. Always, I've said it repeatedly, we should always start classes either on a Monday or a Wednesday, never a Tuesday or Thursday. We may lose a day, but at least it's 1 day, it's not a whole week. They never listen. Well, they occasionally luck into about the flip of the coin, they'll get it right about half the time. So what we're going to do today is a diagnostic assessment. You don't get a grade for it unless you really score well. If you really score well, you might get to go into 100. But if you score pretty well but not high enough to go into 100, and this score helps you at the end of the term, I'll count it. Otherwise, I won't. So don't sweat the test that we're doing today, diagnostic today. We're going over the syllabus. I put it on Blackboard, and I'm not going to do too much for my math lab because I've never used it. Okay? I'll get it set up for you as soon as I can. It might be Friday because I got classes all day tomorrow. So it may be Friday before I get it set up, but I'll try to get it done. I'm not sure what the project portfolio is, okay? So we may not be doing that. We'll do a review quiz, which to me is sort of what I don't know, and Unit 1 test. That can't all be the first week of class. It can't possibly be, okay? So I don't know. I'll figure out what they meant by that, okay? That's Unit 1. I think Unit 1 is supposed to start here. First week of class is this. Unit 1 starts here. Unit 2 is here. Unit 3 is here. Whoever put this together, it wasn't me. A little leaves something to be desired. And then there's the final exam. So I don't know why they started off that way. Okay. We'll have 3-unit tests, 400 points. Okay. They're also called the readiness test. I don't know what the 400 points means. Those 3 won't go to 400 an even number of times, so I don't know how they're doing that. I'll figure that out. I don't think they're 400 each. The final exam is 200 points. Okay? And then there will be review quizzes, 250 points. The My Math Lab work, 120 points. Don't know if I'll figure that out in time to do it or not. Chapter project portfolio, we may skip that one too until I find out what in the world it is. And in-class work and participation, 50 points, we'll see. I may do some adjustment to this because I don't know what they mean by all this. Okay? Grading scales, by the way, 90s are A's, 80s are B's, 70s are C's. Don't go any lower than that, okay? Okay, it's not good. So try to stay up in the top 3. Okay. I don't know about My Math Lab will do it. For review quizzes, They say they cannot be taken late. If not taken on a scheduled day, the student's unit test score will be used for the missed review quiz. We'll figure it out. I'm not as strict as this sounds like it is. If you need another day, we'll work that out. For unit tests, if not taken on a scheduled day, the student will receive an initial 0 grade. The student will have to take the test the following class day. I really don't like that too much either. If the student is absent the entire week of the scheduled test day, the student must provide blah, 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 blah. Okay. Let's take them on the day that they're scheduled. If not, come see me during office hours and I'll administer to you. Okay? That way we don't lose another class day. We don't, none of this monkeying around. We'll just work it out. Okay? All right. Valid excuses for absences. I know that may be important and stuff, but guess what? If you're absent, you're not here. You can't get the material. Now, sure, I'll be recording it. You can get something. It's hard to ask YouTube a question. That just keeps on trucking. They don't listen to you. So try to be here every day. Whatever the excuse is, if you're not here, you're missing material. Try to be here. If you can't be here, try to catch it up here. All right. Oh, sorry to get. Attendance. Students will be expected to attend their class, regularly scheduled class time, arrive on time, remain throughout the scheduled class time. Students are responsible for staying, blah, blah, blah. Okay. The big point here is what I was just saying. If you're not here, you can't get the material. If you don't get the material, you're not going to do well on the test. Okay? Don't do well on the test, you have to repeat the class. You get those D's and F's there. Don't go there. Okay? Withdrawal from course. If students determine they need to withdraw from a class, they may do so using the online withdrawal form. They also have paper copies. However, students who are, okay, now, I don't have this date to fill in because they didn't put it here. Sorry. It's sometime the week after, it's the second week in March. Sometime the second week in March, okay? I don't know the exact date, but sometime in there to complete the withdrawal form. That way students will not be academically penalized for withdrawing from the course. The last day to withdraw is, I think it's the Monday before finals, okay? It's all on the college calendar. If you go to the Austin State webpage, the main webpage, there's a series of blue tabs at the top. One of them says academic calendar. Click on that and you'll see month by month what the deadlines are. So you can fill in your own blanks there. Unit test, readiness test will be 4 scheduled. They said 3, but they say 4 here. Written unit test given throughout the semester. Students will have a score of 70% or higher on each test to satisfy the requirements for the course. Be retake opportunities given on scheduled days, and see the retake testing policy. So up there they said 3. So maybe the final exam is the 4th. That's what I'm going to guess for now. Review quizzes. There will be at least 5 scheduled written review quizzes given throughout the semester. The quiz question items on each quiz will correspond to each of the 4 tests to be given. Okay. I think I know what they're saying there. Review quizzes are designed to give students opportunity to test their content knowledge prior to taking the actual test. Students will have to access the sample test through my math lab. I'll actually get them to you. Handout, you can work them. Okay? You can use my math lab as assistants, but I'll actually give you the paper copies. All right. My math lab coursework, blah, blah, blah. And this is why I'm saying, in my mind, you don't have to do it. If you have access to the book and don't want to pay the huge amount for things like a friend or somebody else who's already taken the course want to do that, you won't have to do that. See, to me, some of these things like my math lab, web design, stuff like this, the companies require it because you have to buy a new book every term, or else you have to pay exorbitant amount just to get the code. Okay? And I think it's a ripoff. So that's the other reason I don't like it. Technical support for help using technical issues in my lab. Go directly to the 24/7 live chat, blah, blah, blah. So it's all there. Once I get it set up for you, you can use that. Chapter projects. Oh, here's where they talk about it. We're given a chapter. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me, so we may or may not do that. Did y'all do this in 90? Okay. Retake testing policy, I thought we just talked about it. Here's pretty good. Student does not have excessive unexcused absences in order to do a retake. Student submits corrected, up to date, blah, blah, blah. And student has, well, it's not good English. Student will have completed topic-specific assignments in collaboration with the designated on-campus tutor or math instructor. Whatever that means. Okay. Testing rules, okay. Only an instructor-supplied basic calculator. I don't have that, okay. Or instructor-approved basic calculator may be used in class. No cell phones, multiplication, blah, 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 blah. And you see all the rules there. It's all in your on Blackboard, so you can see it there. Code of conduct, cheating, plagiarism, copying. I don't know how you do that in math, but okay, if you can figure out what. Okay, code of conduct. Oh boy, good stuff here. We don't allow any of this. We don't want it to happen. If you see anything like this happening, bullying, discrimination, harassment, anything like that, please let us know. People usually aren't dumb enough to do it in front of me, but they may do it in front of you. Let us know. We want to deal with it quickly. Okay? All this, I think, is pretty good stuff. Please read it. I hate to take class time reading this kind of stuff. Academic integrity and sanctions. I think they've talked about some of this before, but they'll talk about it again. Cheating, please don't go there, okay? Online etiquette, netiquette, they call it. I'll let you read that and deal with it. Here's our statement of discrimination, harassment policy. I include bullying in this too. We do not tolerate it. So please don't. Let us know if you see it happen. Americans with Disability, as you've already noticed, I'm hard of hearing, so I'm sort of sensitive on this one. Please let us know. I'm not the person. Dr. Renee Herman on this campus. Here's her phone number. She's here in this building. Mrs. Janine McCoy-Jones on the Birmingham campus. You can visit their website, request a meeting online. You can go to their offices, whatever you need to do. The locations of their offices are on the Bessemer campus, this building, but down on the first floor. You know where the student admissions desk is? Okay, you came around the right side to come to class, right? If you go to the left side of that, don't turn toward the cafeteria. Go down that short hallway till you get in, then take a left, and Dr. Herman's office is right there. Or you can stop just at the information desk, the admissions desk, and ask to see her. She'll come right out if she's on campus in her office. On the Birmingham campus, it's the Leon Kennedy building. Y'all know where that is. That's where the cafeteria and the police and all that are. They're on the first floor. Up on the second floor is the bookstore and other stuff, including the Space Center. That's where Mrs. McCoy-Jones is, okay, for that counselor. Tutoring assistants, okay. Now this is mostly done for Birmingham. Let me tell you here. Down the hall here, in room A212, I believe it is. Okay, if you look down the hallway, you'll see one exit. Okay, it's not that one. The second exit sign. That's a long hallway here. Second stairwell there, right across from that. That's the tutoring lab. Okay, that's one. That's the Student Support Service tutoring lab. Downstairs on the first floor in this building, right to the left of that stairwell coming down I was just describing, that's the Space Center on this campus. So either place on this campus, that's the Space Center here, and A212, what's the number?
212.
Yeah, but what's one number of Space Center? Okay, it's one.
Is there any still police thing?
Huh?
Is there any still police thing, It's right across.
Yeah, right across from police. I think it's 105. I'm not certain, but I believe it's 105. Okay? And also, if you're on My Math Lab, you have access to self-tutoring courses. Okay? Now, here's the bad news. You want to avoid this guy at all costs, the math chairperson. Okay? It's me. Okay? No, I'm just kidding. It is me. You don't have to avoid me. Okay? So, if you need to speak with me, come see me. Okay? I don't know why this is on the syllabus. I just saw it here when I copied it. Okay. That's the syllabus. Any questions? Yes?
Mr. Fowler, are they gonna have any of the tutoring classes set up like last semester where, Ms. Brown and Ms. Martin tutored at different times? She tutored like on Friday mornings, Ms. Brown tutored from the Birmingham campus, she tutored, here on the Bessemer campus at, around, I think it was 6 to 7, and then it was another teacher. So is it gonna be set up for us who work that maybe can't come during the day, but we can come later on?
Now, my guess that was set up through Student Support Services, wasn't it?
I think so.
Okay. You know where that office is?
Yes.
Around, across from Mr. Martin's classroom?
I do.
Right. Okay, that room, I can't remember its number right now, but I'll point it out to you here. This is a diagram of this floor, okay? We're right here at this corner of the classroom. This is that long hallway there. There's that first stairwell. There's the second stairwell. The tutoring lab is the one right across from that stairwell, okay? Then you go down, take a left at the very end of the hall, and the last office on the right. It's called a classroom, but it's not a classroom, it's an office. So there is a class in there, inside there, but that's where the tutoring, that's SSS department. And when you go there, ask them what the schedule is. I'm pretty sure they're going to do it. You see, they have Miss Martin teaching on the Birmingham campus some. Miss Brown, a lot of her classes were canceled, so she's probably going to have more time to tutor. So hopefully she will. She's great, isn't she?
Yes,
Yeah. And she's in the evenings too, so for people who work. And I don't know who the other instructor
It
was.
was another instructor. I can't think of her name, but it was a she.
It was a she.
And
Okay.
I think she was more of the 3 to 4 o'clock.
Okay. So I can't say for certain because that's not my area, but I know that I work with Miss Harris and she's great, and they'll let you know when those hours are. So you can either check at the tutorial lab. I know Miss Hollins will probably know the answer, or check around the corner at there. So I bet you they are. They always do it. And Miss, like I said, Miss Harris and I work together well. And I know she tries to do that. Okay. Yes.
I have a class at 3. Is it okay if you leave at 3?
Yo, I wish you'd have said something sooner. Let's go on and take the, what do they call this? The placement assessment. Okay. Let me pass these out. Do all of you have a pencil or pen? Okay. This is the test. You don't have to write on this. If you want to, you can. But what I'm grading is the answer sheet. Oh my, I didn't write. They didn't copy the answer sheet. Okay, write your answers on here. And I'll go copy the answer sheet while you do it. So, if you will, turn on the light. Can you reach around there? That's all right. I'll get it in there. Okay. Because I didn't know you had to leave early. This shouldn't take too long. It's only 12 questions. Again, this is not going to hurt your score at all. If it turns out helping you at the end of the term, I'll average it in with everything else. I count it as a quiz. But it won't hurt you. Yeah, okay. Good. Okay. All right. Yeah, there it is. There is the answer sheet, but it didn't get copied. So I copied 20, I believe, so I'll be right back with the answer sheet. You can start writing your things there when I bring this back. Transfer it. going to go and turn off, or at least pause this, so we don't have any more